Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Avery, and she's going to talk about her sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So, could you just tell a little about yourself?
Like she said, my name is Avery. I'm a senior at Lindenwood. I'm graduating in December. It's only a couple months.
Me too.
I became a member of the sorority in fall 2016, and I'm a member of Beta Delta.
Okay, nice. And that's St. Louis wide chapter.
The citywide chapters.
Yep. Why did you choose this particular sorority?
Well, I have a lot of women in my life just growing up that were members of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and just kind of seeing how they are, how they carry themselves, just kind of the success that they have in their life. It's pretty much been because of the standards that the sorority has, and just, you know, how the sorority in general just upholds itself.
Yeah.
And I've always admired that in them, and I'm like, okay, well, if this helps these women, you know, become who they are now, it'll help me become who I want to be, which is like them. So that was one aspect of it. Another is I'm huge on service work, like very big. Before I got pregnant, I was so adamant about doing Peace Corps, and I was going to leave next April, but that's going to have to be put off for a little bit.
Life happens,
yes,
you know.
that's going to be put off for a hot second, but that's definitely something I still want to do. But, you know, having to put that off, at all of the service work that we do as a sorority is kind of making up for that. So I just love being able to do service with like my sisters and stuff like that. So that was a huge part of it.
Right, like service to all mankind is basically what you guys stand for, and sisterhood and helping each other. So you had women to look up to in your life, so which basically guided you more towards that sorority. Okay. What are some of the stereotypes that people have of AKA?
I think a lot of people kind of just stereotype that we're the pretty girls. Yes, there are very beautiful women in the sorority, but that's not all we stand for. You know, we're very obviously dedicated to service, very dedicated to our schoolwork, to knowledge, just educating yourself, educating others. I think that's pretty much the main stereotype, is that, you know, we're just very almost I don't know.
Conceited.
Yes, but that's very false. That's very false. I don't feel conceited people really would put their time and effort into helping others. So that's definitely a huge stereotype.
Right. I would say another stereotype that I hear is there's more light-skinned girls than dark-skinned girls.
Which kind of surprises me, because I know in my chapter that's kind of the opposite. But yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on where you see it.
I guess.
It can vary, so.
What advice could you give someone who's interested in joining your sorority?
I mean, the number one advice I would give is join for the right reasons. If, you know, your heart is in it and you're in it for the right reasons, God will make sure that that's something that comes through for you. And I very strongly just recommend that you do it for the right reasons. Make sure that that's the organization that you really do want to join. You know, if you need to research, but make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I would also say just be very adamant about it. If it's something you really want to do, you know, keep at it, you know.
What are your thoughts on hazing? We all know hazing is bad.
Yes.
I mean, there are chapters that do haze still.
Yes,
but
that's still a thing. Unfortunately, I personally do not condone it. Alpha Kappa Alpha is a non-hazing organization, so
yeah. Speaking of hazing, I do see shirts that says I'm made or been made or something along those lines. And I've also seen step shows where people like throw shade, like throw bits of paper at each other. So could you give your thoughts on what's being made and what's paper?
In a technical sense, paper is, you know, your process is by the book of your organization. Hence the paper, you know, you're filling it out, you know, that type of stuff. The made is all of the hazing and all of the things that most people kind of associate with Greek life in general.
Right. Do you think that it's best to join while still in undergrad or grad?
I think it's better to go join undergrad, just because you kind of get, there's more things that we do in undergrad that some of the grad chapters don't do. I mean, not joining for like parties and things like that, but you do get more of a social interaction with other organizations in undergrad. Just kind of hanging out with different organizations here and there, attending each other's events and things like that. You kind of get that guidance of how to behave once you get to a grad chapter. You get that sisterly guidance, that service guidance, that, you know, you get that support academically through your undergrad, which sometimes a lot of people do need. Undergrad can be difficult, very difficult, depending on your major. So I would say joining an undergrad definitely helps support that and kind of keeps you focused on what you're supposed to be doing and like focused on graduating. So.
Right. So is it hard being able to toggle being in school, being active in your sorority, still having a social life? Like, how do you handle it all?
I kind of prioritize everything. You know, you kind of have to look at what's most important to you. I feel most people would say that, you know, God has to come first, and then you need to take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you cannot be, you know, active in your sorority. You need to, you know, make sure you're taken care of so you can contribute. You know, sometimes you do need to take a backseat to social life in order to make sure your sorority stuff is taken care of. But my sorority definitely is a huge priority for me. Definitely a huge priority for me. For sure. It's just, you know, balancing what is most important to you, making sure you do get that academic in, because that's a huge part of being an active member, you know.
Right. So the most juiciest that I think that a lot of you would like to hear is, could you explain the feud between AKA and Delta, and or how it like came about?
Well, in St. Louis, we are pretty close with the Deltas. We actually support, the Greek organizations in St. Louis are very supportive of each other. That I'm very grateful for. I feel the quote feud, basically, obviously Alpha Kappa Alpha was the first Black Greek letter sorority. And then in 1913, the Deltas kind of stemmed from that. They just wanted to change some things, do some things of their own. They just didn't agree, and started their own organization. I think the feud, I don't really know how to call it, but like, I think that, like the animosity, I guess, kind of stems from just some people feeding into it, I guess. I mean, I don't really have like any animosity towards it, because I feel, you know, if you didn't agree with the sorority, then that's your own like opinions, you know, and you are welcome to start your own thing, you know, like do you. Not every sorority is for everybody, you know.
True.
So
you just have to
that's where it kind of stems from.
Find the one you feel
most comfortable with, most at home.
Right.
Like that, yeah.
So, do you have friends who chose a different sorority than you, and are you still close with them, although you guys chose a different path?
Yes. I actually have a couple family members who are Deltas, and it's kind of fun because whenever I do see them, they kind of like make little jokes here and there about it. A couple of my friends actually chose Divine Nine organizations, and I'm still pretty close with them. They make it a point to kind of know what's going on with my organization and kind of in the whole Divine Nine atmosphere, since it's very different from Pan-Hellenic organizations. you know, I try to make it a point to attend things that they go to. They'll come to things that I have.
Yeah, that's
just kind of like, yeah, just kind of support each other, just kind of know what's going on, support each other in our choices.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my show and educating people more about your sorority. Yeah. So if you do want to do more research on Alpha Kappa Alpha, you can go to www.aka1908.org. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, comment if you are an AKA or have any family members at AKA. Well, thank you guys so much for watching my show, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Next on Talk It Out.
Hey guys, welcome back to my show, Talk It Out. And I'm here with my little cousin, Ronnie. He's a senior in high school, and today we're going to talk about high school popularity.
I just look at myself as, you know, a person who's like cool with everyone, you know what I mean? Like I like to have fun, like no matter who you are, like even if you're a person who don't like to talk or be around people, you know, I just like to have fun. I just want to make everybody feel comfortable.
So, how do you feel about becoming homecoming king?
I was